What is going on, everyone? And yes, we're back at it with another video. What I want to talk about today is why your CS doesn't necessarily mean as much as you guys might think. Yes, it's important, but you guys should know that your CS doesn't have to be like, I'm considered like a whale, whatever, I have 53k. It doesn't have to be as high to be as valuable for your team. And I'm gonna explain why today. So be sure to drop a like, drop a sub if you're new, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so yeah, I like to walk around literally when I just make these videos and talk, right? But so today we're gonna talk about the CS system and why I think it's not that like you guys always inform me about stuff like this because I don't really struggle with the CS thing. My CS is high enough to pretty much clear all the content in the game, or to be, let me just not say clear all the content, but to be high enough for the recommendation. But the recommendation is a bunch of, it's like good to help you, but it's still a bunch of BS. Because if we really think about it, your CS is pretty much more for your damage, right? The higher your CS, the more stars you get and whatever, the more damage you're gonna do. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be better at the other roles except for doing damage, because you're mainly only gonna focus on damage with CS, because of course you want to have a decent CS so you can always do some kind of damage. But I'm gonna explain to you guys, right? So I have 53k CS. The main team I use is my team, and I am attack, right? So I always equip attack when I use this team. So I get equipped at least 2 DPS type weapons. I will get 10% extra final damage, which in team play further increases to 40%, right? But this is my role. You have more roles than one. It's just not only DPS, especially with like these raids and stuff. You don't only want to have just DPS, people that focus on doing damage. And my guy B Tactics really taught me on this, really like informed me about this, and you guys in the comments as well. But let's say like this raid, it's recommended that you have 2 healers, 2 tanks, and then DPSs. So the way you have to balance your team out, your tanks are going to pretty much tank, right? If you don't know what that is, they pretty much go to they get aggro 800%, but that's not 100%, 800%. So what they do for your team is they take the attention away from the boss, because in the end, the enemies at the end, the boss is pretty much only gonna focus on them. They are going to they're gonna take the attention so that all the DPS characters can pretty much do the damage, right? Because if you're a DPS, you are going to wanna attack the boss without him trying to attack you most of the time. It also increases shatter by 60% and damage reduction by 25%, right? And in team play, like it even boosts it. Like I'm pretty sure this stacks, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someone in the comments can inform me about that. So back to the CS thing. Let's say we're talking about this 𝙀𝙓, the joint operations. For level 8, we just unlocked level 8. You need 50,000. You guys need to realize getting 50,000 is not easy to do. Even 40,000 at level 60, that is hard to do. But that's mainly for DPS. There's a guy that commented, hopefully you're watching this video, but he told me he has 20,000 CS, and the team he runs is pretty much what he has. Like, let's say I change my Nemesis for Coco, right? So his team is Benediction. He said he's the healer of the team. So we talked about DPS, we talked about the tank. Now you got the healers. The healers are really important because they heal the team, right? But they increase healing by 100%. And in team play, 100 more %. So the tanks are gonna benefit from this, and the DPS characters are gonna benefit from this, because the DPSs aren't gonna die, because even though the tank might have the attention, most of the time the boss can still attack the DPSs. So you'll heal them, and they'll heal the tanks, because the tanks are obviously gonna take damage because they have 800% more aggro from the boss. So the healers are really important. So why I would say that CS doesn't really matter that much, because you're not there for the damage. You're doing your role, and doing your role is so important in this game later on, and with most content, because other people, what I've seen is people feel discouraged when they play something, right? Like one of these game modes, and they don't do the damage, because it's like a psychological thing. What they do is because they want you to spend money, right, to get all the stars and to do more damage. So they have like the MVP system to where you'll see the MVP, but most of the time it's the person that does the most damage. But what I've seen recently and what people told me, you can get the MVP by healing as well, by healing people and pretty much keeping your team alive, and you'll see the percentage, the healing percentage as well. And if you do some damage, you can get MVP from that. So being a healer can get you the MVP, not just only doing damage. That's why it's so important. So if you look at the raids and all the JOs and stuff, if you go in this with like of course, if your CS is low, you're gonna have way less HP and stuff. But if you just play smart, you'll still be able to do your thing. And if you're a healer, you're not really gonna be in front of the boss like that your tanks are really gonna do that. But you need 48,000 to do this. I bet you there are some of you guys that are watching this video right now that probably have half of this CS and will still be able to do this, or can still do this joint operations. Because let's say you have someone like me that does have the recommended and it's a DPS. If you guys can support me, let's say you have 2 DPSs, what I would do for joint operations is have one fortitude, 2 attacks, and then 1 healer, because the healer will heal everyone. The DPS is to pretty much just like kill everyone quick, and he can take the aggro, right? Or you can have 2 healers, whatever. But in a raid, you need more roles. Like you need, like, let's say for the second raid, you need to split up, right? 2 teams, so you need to have 2 healers for each boss. What I'm pretty much trying to get, right? Like I hope you guys are really understanding what I'm saying. Is even if you do have half of the recommendation is just a recommendation, but you need to figure out what role you want to play. And a lot of you guys already have figured out what role you want to play. For me, it's either DPS or I play like balanced, right? This is like I told you guys multiple times, this is like my favorite team. So for me, I 5% damage reduction, shatter and healing effect 20%, and this one it'll be 40% in total. So that's a pretty good balance. But when I go my tryhard team, as you guys can see, I have literally 6 stars, and 4 stars. This is my highest team with my highest CS. So that's when I run this team. But I just want you guys to know that, and hopefully I have learned some people with this video, where you guys are realizing that, because there's a lot of people that think because their CS is low or lower than other people that you suck, or you have to quit because your CS is so low. And I'm telling you, try find a role that is different from maybe being a DPS. And maybe later on, when you do find that character you want to go for and get all the stars for, you can maybe tune in to be a DPS. Like later on, there's time. There's no rush to this. We're gonna get Vera very soon and new characters. But just find a role you like, and don't really worry about CS that much. It's important, but don't focus on it that much. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully it kind of helped some people out. I just really wanted to advise you guys about this, because it is very, very important that you guys understand it. Okay, so yeah, if this helped you, drop a sub, drop a like, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.